Hey everybody, welcome once again to another episode of The Real World Prepper. Let's go over a few things, shall we? Hey guys, thanks for joining for this episode of Real World Prepper. I just wanted to say that if you're not already prepared or preparing, that you are behind the eight ball. You are behind the curve. You're behind the line. You are minutes too late, if not more. I say this because things are happening at such a rapid pace now. Change is happening in such a rapid pace now. We don't have the time. A lot of people say, even the people who prep now, say, you know, well, a lot of them, you know, we've got time. I mean, we've got some time. Yeah, it's coming. You know, there's something coming. You know, something wicked this way comes, but we've got time. Donald Trump, you know, has bought us at least 2 to 6 more years, or in this instance, you know, I guess it is 2, you know, almost 2 to almost 6 years. You know, depending on if he gets reelected in 2020. I dare say that may not be true, and I believe that it is not true. There has been legislation that has been passed. Just one example, lots of things that have been passed that are sort of unprecedented, that we haven't crossed this line before in such a vast undertaking. There has been more gun control passed since we've had, you know, one part of the government controlled by the Senate since November, or controlled by Democrats, rather, since December, or November. There's already been more gun legislation, gun laws, anti-gun laws that have been passed since November under Trump than there was in the entirety of Obama. Now, Obama and his administration talked a whole lot about gun control, and there may have been things secretly signed under the table, okay, that we don't know about or hasn't come to fruition yet. But one thing's for sure, in actual law and actual legislation that's going through our political system, there has been more actual steps taken towards gun control since November under Donald Trump's tenure than in all of Obama. Don't get me wrong. I am not an Obama fan. I am not here to tout him. And I'm not here to tear down our president, Donald Trump. But I'm just stating the facts. Also, with these laws that you no doubtedly, and I've talked about them, and you know, until I'm blue in the face, and you guys surely know about them. This abortion business, you know, this full-term abortion business, New York, Virginia. That guy in Virginia, the governor or whatever he is, that you know, was on that radio broadcast talking about, oh yeah, we're going to keep these babies comfortable, and then we're going to have a discussion with the mother and the provider are going to have a discussion. They're going to decide whether or not they're going to keep that baby. Well, you know what happens, right? If they decide to abort that baby after it's born and laying there alive on the table, then vans show up, planes show up. You know, they put all that stuff, they help keep that healthy baby, take it to a ward somewhere that is specifically designed for organ harvest, for blood harvest, for the what's the adrenaline, you know, adrenochrome or whatever it's called. You know, they harvest all this stuff, they sell it. You know, a dead baby's worth about $50,000, but a live baby's worth about $500,000. Okay, so you know, so let's say the mother and the provider sit there and talk about it, and they say, oh, okay, you know, well, we're gonna go ahead and abort. Well, they tell the mother, well, it's aborted, you know, but meanwhile that baby's alive and being kept healthy and alive and kept well until it comes to a place and a time where it can be properly sorted out. I'm just going to say it like that because I can't, you know what they do. They harvest this child's organs, tissue, skin, blood, adrenochrome, all that kind of stuff. And you know, these are what these Satanist globalists live on, is this stuff. Don't mean to get off on that tangent. The fact of the matter is, if you haven't already started, you are behind the 8 ball. You very well may be too late. I myself, who've been doing this for several years, I look around and realize that I am nowhere where I need to be. You know, it can be a never-ending proposition, prepping, okay? And frankly, it should be, because it should be something that you, as I've said before, it shouldn't consume you, but it should be something that is that important and that on your mind, and be working towards every day and making steps towards every day and adding to your stores. You need to be adding your beans. You need to be adding your bullets. You need to be adding your batteries. I know Band-Aids are in there, but I don't have Band-Aids. I got a boo-boo. Okay? You need to be stocking up on your water in many different forms and ways to procure it when this runs out, and a way to procure food when this runs out. You better not run out of that. Ways to produce power when those run out or when they're not applicable. But you're behind the 8 ball, guys, if you hadn't started. And look, I get it. You know, some of you would say, and I've seen some comments, okay, and this is not to knock any of you guys that have commented this stuff, okay, but I'm going to run through some of this stuff real quickly. Well, I'm on a fixed income. Well, I don't have a car. Well, I've got medications that cost me a bunch of money. Well, I live with somebody who's not my house, and they're not into prepping and don't want me to put all this stuff in here. Or I rent, you know, or I'm in an apartment, I'm in a big city, you know, I don't have the money, I don't know where to start, etc., etc. Start somewhere and do it, regardless of where you are. Regardless of where you are. Let me ask you this: if you're renting an apartment in New York City, let's just say, right, and everything falls apart, right, pandemonium. First of all, do you think your landlord is going to come looking for rent? No. Your landlord's going to be trying to save his ass, his and his family's, okay? So he's not worried about you at that point, I would suggest, or speculate, I should say. You know, so yeah, so you can be storing up stuff in that apartment. Now, that is not an ideal situation, obviously, because, you know, then you got, you know, stacks and stacks and stacks of people all around you that probably haven't done anything either. But you get the point. Something's better than nothing. And you need to be doing it now, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Prepare now, because we're out of time. You know? Prepare. Thank you, guys. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button. Check out my other videos on this channel, and come back and see the Real World Prepper real soon. Thank you. Bye.